Welcome to Sports Betting Podcast from pregame.com for the week of December 2nd, 2009. I'm your host, RJ Bell. I'm joined by Vegas Runner, genuine professional bettor here in Las Vegas, and Marco D'Angelo, 30 years in the business. This is segment 6 of 6, Monday Night Football, Baltimore at Green Bay. Tell us about the line move, Vegas Runner.
All right. Green Bay opened as a 3-point home favorite, 3 even money, meaning you had to lay minus 120 to grab 3 with the dog Baltimore, and a total 44.5. As of today, Green Bay's still minus 3, now minus $1.20, and the total's dipped all the way down to 43.5.
Okay, so couple thoughts. One is the betting market is telling us that Green Bay's better than Baltimore.
Absolutely.
Because 3 points for the home field, you're laying extra juice to lay the 3. That's a heck of a change from this Baltimore team. And again, it's getting deep into the season, but after 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, they were number 1 in the ESPN poll.
Oh, yeah.
We've been preaching this Baltimore team's overrated. Number 2, 44 is the second most key number in totals. 37 is number 1. 44 is number 2. To go from 44.5 to 43.5 is a significant move towards the under.
For sure.
And we all know that if the wise guys are betting against what they expect the public, it means they really like it and they don't want to wait, because there's a chance other wise guys will get there
first.
first.
To the number, sure.
Remember, there's not just one set of wise guys. They're competing with each other.
Absolutely.
So they really love the under here.
See, that's a Monday night game, too. I mean, the trend, the public's going to bet over.
Yeah, so they're saying this thing might be 42-41 by game time. That's why they're grabbing the 44.
Now.
All right. Marco, when you look at this game, now I actually have my official free pick on this game. And as we've been talking about, VR, you're 9 out of 10 on the free picks. Marco, you're 11 of 14. I'm 7 of 11. We've been hot. I've got my official free pick. But let me make sure I feel good about it. Let me get your thoughts.
Well, you hear me talk about public perception all the time. And what's going to happen in this game, the public is going to look at this game and they're going to land on Green Bay. And this is how they're going to do it. They're going to look back to Thursday. They were eating their turkey. They were watching Green Bay go up and down the field on Detroit. Wow, look at that. Green Bay's back.
That tasted good because they had Green Bay.
Then Sunday night, they watched Baltimore play a life and death game with the Pittsburgh Steelers without Ben Roethlisberger.
Without Charlie Batch.
Without Charlie Batch, going to a third-string quarterback, without Troy Polamalu. And they should have lost the game.
Yeah.
They should have lost the game. And their opinion from seeing that game is Baltimore's not good. And I think the value here is Baltimore's flying under the radar. I like looking at teams that come off ugly wins. And let's face it, that win was as ugly as it gets.
Yeah.
And because what you get is value. Normally when a team comes off a win, you got to pay a little bit of a premium. But when it was an ugly win, you're not paying a premium.
All right, so what we have is a follow-up to the Dallas Giants game where the weekend action was something that these were premier games a lot of people watched, in which Baltimore looked bad, Green Bay looked good, and thus you want to go with the team that looked bad because you think the public's overcompensating right now.
Right.
All right, what do you think?
I leaned Baltimore for sure in this game. I think that's where the value is, and I do think this team is underrated, especially on the defensive side of the ball because of how good they were in seasons past. But when you look back in the last...
Oh, hold on, what do you mean? Because they're not quite as good as they were in seasons past, you think people are overreacting to the defense getting worse on Baltimore.
Exactly, and just thinking this is just your average, typical run-of-the-mill NFL defense right now. And they're not. They're 4th in points allowed, and in the last 7 weeks, 6 of those times, they didn't allow more than 17 points. So even when they lose, this team doesn't get blown away. They're going to be in games because it is defense. And I think against Green Bay, that's the kind of style that wins games.
All right, now, I've been preaching for 2 seasons this Flacco is not quite as good as people are making him out to be. It would seem now that moving towards the last quarter of his second year, this is when you'd expect him to be stepping up. I'm not sure he's playing any better now than he was last year.
He didn't go to Delaware by accident. Let's tell it like it is. You know?
He played the first 5 weeks of this season better than he did last year.
I agree with that.
He has regressed over the last 5 weeks.
I mean, he was so robotic. I tell you this, as a Steeler fan, watching that game, it was really a painful experience for me. I can't believe that they didn't get conservative in overtime and punt that ball away, because literally, other than one big play on a slant, which, give them credit, is this Baltimore team, it was like Flacco was a target that couldn't move. They were stripping the ball. They were tipping the ball. It seemed like there was at least a decent chance of getting a turnover. Flacco is not mobile. He's very robotic. I think against an aggressive defense, he can sit back there and throw the long ball, but man, he is like a 1980s quarterback.
No, and that's where they grabbed him. For his arm strength, he was known. But I'm one of them people that always say that, yeah, there's diamonds in the rough. They sixth round draft picks, they say Tom Brady. Yeah, but Tom Brady went to Michigan. Yeah. So it wasn't by accident that he had talent. But guys like him, the Tony Romos that everybody's saying are better than they are, they weren't wrong in high school and in college. And were all these people wrong about these quarterbacks? I don't think so. 2
quick points to make for you. This winning streak for Green Bay, the 3-game winning streak, they've enjoyed a 9-2 turnover margin. That's really helped.
That's another example where a score can be deceiving, and you want to usually go against a team that's gotten lucky in turnovers recently.
Right, and the teams they faced have not been good defensive teams, and Green Bay still has not fixed the problem of protecting Rodgers. And the Baltimore defense should get some sacks this week.
And it looks like the odds makers think the defense is going to show up and that Green Bay is going to have some trouble, because Green Bay scored 30 points back-to-back, scored 23-plus in 9 of 11 games this season, and yet the total's down to 43.5.
All right,
that
so
tells me a lot.
That's a good segue into my free pick.
That's what I wanted to know. What is the play?
Drum roll, please.
I don't even know what the play is.
The official free pick over the total.
I like
over 43.5. I'm bucking the wise guys.
Wise guys, schmize guys.
And what I would say in this case is bet it now at 43.5 if you can. And here, this is a team profile play. It's really simple. I do believe Baltimore's still overrated on D, actually. Clearly, they're down from last year, but I'm not sure how good this D is, to be honest. Green Bay, as a home favorite, has gone over 12 of 16. Baltimore, as a road dog, has gone over 13 of 16. So 12-4 over, 13-3 over in these spots. These teams, now this is a whole season. Both of these are 16-game trends. A whole season worth of games in the exact spot they're in, over 80% towards the over, both. To me, it's a profile play that it fits perfectly.
And I like what you said, bet it now, because the only way this gets to 43 or under is if there's a blizzard. That's such a key number for Monday night.
And that is an interesting point, is when there's a potential weather, you usually don't want to play the over early. So that may be something to do. The technology these days, you can look out 3-4 days ahead. Unless it looks like there's a big weather problem, this is a game that's right below a key number. And we always talk about it. When a game is near a key number, you're risking a 44 to gain a 43. Well, 44 is much more valuable than to gain 43. I'd take the 43.5 over. That's my official pick. Any thoughts on it?
I'll give you one little angle that will help your over as well. Baltimore did play Pittsburgh, so we have the Pittsburgh angle, and the basis of that angle going against teams the following week is that they're banged up physically, and after you take a pounding, your tackling's not as sharp the following week.
That's one of your pet ones, is after the Steelers. All right, any thoughts to wrap up, VR, for the week?
That's the side I was leaning to as well for the total. I thought this total came out a little low because of the trend. Last couple Monday nights, people have gotten burned betting over, so they brought this one out a little too low, I think.
All right, well, good stuff. Good show this week. And we'll be back. We're here every week breaking down 6 big games. We'll be back next week on Wednesday. Remember, you can get all of our videos at pregame.tv, or if you want to download and listen, just go to iTunes and search for pregame.com.